The Pokemon Trading Card Game Classic Collection Briefcase Ultra Premium Super Set. We first found out about this thing on February 27th, have heard nothing about it since, and now that Worlds Yokohama has wrapped up, we're getting news from people that got to have some hands-on experience and actually look at all of the cards listed in all three of the decks included in this classic collection. So today we're going to discuss all of these new details that we now know and try to rationalize if this thing is still worth $250 in our minds. All of the accessories look very much the same as they did in that initial trailer we saw in February. The raised platform that serves as the double-sided playmat looks pretty nice. All of the accessories are looking, like I said, just as they were shown in the trailer. You get that really cool little spinny coin flip thing. All of the counters still looking crisp and nice. The three deck boxes are looking pretty solid as well. They look like nice, crisp deck boxes. A box of this quality is generally going to run you anywhere between $15 to $20 anyway, so just on deck boxes alone, that's like $45 worth of value. That's aside from whatever value you want to assign to all of the special counters, the poison and burn markers, the little marble coin flip device, and the board itself. And we now have full deck lists for all three of the included decks that were on display on the show floor at Yokohama, and they all look like solid decks with some good cards in them that make them all balanced so that they can be played against one another. Nothing too wild coming out of the Venusaur deck. I mean, you do have the base set Venusaur reprint itself, Jungle Scyther, a few fighting type cards, that base set Chansey, and of course the new Lugia EX preparing its Aeroblast. It's a really nice looking holo from all the close-up pictures I've seen. You do have the new trainer cards, which we talked about in the last video, and then just some kind of run-of-the-mill support. I feel like the Charizard one is a bit more loaded because of the base set Charizard, but also because it's got Fossil Magmar, the new Ho-Oh EX, Pikachu and Raichu, base set Electrode, base set Clefairy and Jungle Clefable. Strike and Run Dunsparce, one of the best support cards ever made. I loved playing that card in the Fire Red Leaf Green like Ruby Sapphire era. And then again, the new trainer card specific to this deck, and then some trainer and supporter support here at the end next to the energy cards. For the Blastoise deck, we were looking at, of course, base set Blastoise. I don't know if that's a new Magikarp or not. I'm not familiar enough with it. I'll have to look it up after this video. Fossil Articuno, the new Suicune EX. A very interesting Mr. Mime that we're going to talk about here in a bit. Base set Mewtwo, Mulligan Mewtwo, mind you. Lieutenant Surge's Raticate. And then once again, a nice little stockpile at the end of the deck of trainers and supporter cards. It's kind of hard to tell from the photos I was scanning down there, but every single card in all of these decks is holofoil. This thing is blinged out from top to bottom from the get-go. The one thing that really bugs me about this is if you pay attention to the difference in that Bulbasaur and Venusaur as compared to the Ivysaur, the Japanese cards get this really cool holofoil border, while the English cards just go back to the yellow, ugly borders we had for so long. Yeah, I get that this is the classic collection, so it makes sense to go back to the yellow borders, and this product was probably put into production and design before the Scarlet and Violet block ever dropped. But if you're truly wanting this to be a premium product, one of the most expensive standalone Pokemon products ever produced, then why not just go all the way? Why not give the English version the full holofoil border treatment as well? I don't understand. Just look at how much of a difference it makes for the energy cards alone. Those Japanese energy cards look so much better just because the entire card is the matching holofoil and isn't really like disrupted or contrasted by that yellow border. But if anyone watching actually prefers to have that yellow border as like a solid frame around all of the holofoil, let me know down in the comments. I'm just curious to know what everyone's taste is like out there. Regardless of preference, I do think that these energy cards alone are going to be highly sought after for people that just want to flex and bling out their deck with a rare type of basic energy. And the fact that you're just getting so many within this set is leading me to think that you are going to get a good value just off of individual cards alone. And of course, all of the holofoil reprint versions of these starter lines are going to be highly sought after from collectors, people looking to just pick apart this product and send cards off to be graded. That also bugs me a little bit. I get that there's room in the fandom for all different types of players and collectors, but taking this set and then just pulling cards out of it something about that just like, oh, it bugs me. And I know there are people out there that are either going to be picking it apart to scalp all of these individual cards for marked up prices, or just to send them off to be graded. And you know, everybody just do your own thing, and just don't tell me about it if you're actually doing that. When I was first looking at all this stuff for this full official reveal of all the contents of the product, I was a little bit underwhelmed. I was expecting just some more, you know, big cards from throughout Pokemon's history, kind of like they were doing with the 25th anniversary last year. But after I thought about it and I looked over everything again, I still think that this is just a home run product. Just getting 3 complete decks that are going to be balanced and fun to play against one another, though I'd be very nervous actually playing with these cards. The set does have some downsides, such as it doesn't come with any sleeves as far as we've seen, and none of these cards are actually tournament legal outside of this set. As much as I would absolutely love to add foil, Professor Oak, or double colorless energy to some of my vintage decks, specifically states on the card, this card cannot be used at official tournaments. Now, if I'm playing vintage Pokemon, they are not officially sanctioned tournaments. They're normally just kind of like a group hangout or something, and so I still would be able to slot them in, but I do wonder if the backs of these cards are going to be drastically different. If there's going to be a way to just tell by flipping the card over like you see with the World Champs decks. You know, working at an LGS, not all of my coworkers know vintage Pokemon very well, and so if someone brought in this card to sell, are they going to have a quick way to know, like, oh yeah, this is not a tournament legal card, this is just from that collector set, and look for these special markings? Because if you don't know, you're going to look at this and just be like, yeah, it's a Pokemon card, it's got an e-reader border on it, cool. Which makes me wonder too, you know, are local game shops going to be getting this product? Is it going to be big box only? Is it going to be online only? We still don't know where this product's going to become available. How much is actually going to be available? You know, is this going to be such a luxury product that it's just dumped and then gone? Or will the Pokemon Company just print it to death until people stop buying it, like they did with the Charizard UPC, or even recently with their Scarlet and Violet ETBs? I'm thinking that this is going to be a very weird product launch because it's still slated for late fall 2023, which is going to put it right after the Pokemon 151 enormous set released, where we've got the Mew premium collections, you've got booster bundles, you've got ETBs, all of these different products that include different promos, like your Zapdos boxes, your Alakazam boxes, your mini tins. You're telling me you're going to release an entire set, an entire product line centered around people's nostalgia and banking on that nostalgia to bring in lots and lots of cash flow for a really cool product? Don't get me wrong, Pokemon 151 is going to be huge. I'm excited for it, but people are already going to be investing fully in that set to get their nostalgia fix, and then you're telling me that right after that, you're going to drop this box that's still predicted to be around $250. We still don't have official, you know, MSRP or anything on it, but it's predicted to be around $250 directly after another big nostalgia product line. That it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. They are still sticking to that late fall 2023 though, which also would put it around the time of the new Paradox set. Paradox Rift, I believe, is the name of it, which we're already getting product images for that as well. It's just going to be a lot of overload for just a collector's mindset, but also on the wallet. We've already spoken about the value of the physical components of this product, but is the product overall going to be worth that much? Well, the short answer is yes. Of course it is. It's reprints of base set cards in new forms with some minor gameplay tweaks made to them. Remember, these are not direct reprints from the English base set cards. There are slight differences, but you're also getting, at minimum, 3 unique cards that you can't get anywhere else in the Lugia, Ho-Oh, and Suicune, which are all 3 great looking cards that are going to be highly sought after on their own. Depending on how available this product is, we could be looking at a scenario where these 6 cards alone are worth $250. Not even counting the price tag that's going to be allotted to all of the foil versions of all the other cards in the deck that have not been available before, the foil energy cards, and let's not skip over Mr. Mime, a vending series card that has never been printed in English before. It is dropping for the first time in this collection. And it's a shame that it's not going to be tournament legal, because this could be a game-changing card. This could be a card that's going into every single deck across the metagame. Regardless of that, it is just a super cool inclusion. I was so surprised and happy to see this Mr. Mime making its way into this collection, even if it's not going to be usable in any way outside of the collection. But that is where I'm seeing a lot of the hesitancy and discourse around this product, is the fact that these cards aren't really usable for official play. This product is meant to be a standalone product where you are not mixing or matching any cards. You have these 3 pre-built decks and you play them against one another. You just have this cool little built set of 3 decks that you can play against your family and friends with. The Lugia, Ho-Oh, and Suicune EX were all designed just to be part of these 3 decks, not for play outside of them. And that's where people are a little bit disappointed, where maybe they wanted to build a deck around this Lugia EX. You still can, you just can't take it to a tournament. There's still a lot of discussion to be had around this product, especially once we get more information on the actual release date and the Western release MSRP. But I want to continue that discussion down in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are on this product now that we have some more information. We know everything inside of that box that we're going to be getting. We have complete deck lists. Do you think that this product is going to be worth the price tag, and do you plan on trying to pick one up? Stay tuned to the channel for more Pokemon TCG content, both vintage and modern. I can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts on this product now that we know more. Social media links are down in the description. I'll see you next video.